Welcome to The Business Fighter with Henry Penix. Henry has been the CEO, founder, and consultant to hundreds of companies worldwide. He retired a multimillionaire, financially independent at the age of 35. Henry grew up a preacher's son and was thrown in jail 3 times for various altercations. He knows what it means to come from nothing and have to fight his way to the top. Henry is the business fighter who will teach you strategic skills for winning in business and in life. Don't just spectate, participate. It's time to get in the ring.
Hey guys, Henry the Business Fighter again, coming to you with part 2 of an interview that I just did with an intuitive, Tracy Turner. If you don't know what intuitive is, or have ever had trouble understanding more spiritual things, go watch episode 1 right now. Don't even finish this. Just go watch episode 1 now, and then come back to this, because we're going to jump right into what episode 1 led us up to. So you need to know about Tracy's background. You need to know her belief in God, her belief in Jesus, her belief in all these things first to set the stage for where we're going to go now. So if you've got your seatbelts on and you're all buckled up and you dare stay with us, Tracy, are you ready for this?
I am ready and ripping to go.
Well, welcome to part 2. As I told people in part 1, I usually interview business people. But if in your life you don't have your spiritual side, your financial side, there's multiple sides to a wheel. And if one side gets out of whack, you start wobbling along and you can't really be at maximum effectiveness or efficiencies. So for me, spirituality is a big deal. 30-second download. I grew up in the church. Father was a pastor. Tracy grew up in spirituality, had a lot of spiritual experiences. She was able to see beyond just a physical realm, and not in a ooey gooey, look at your crystal ball type way, but in a very childlike way. And in fact, one of her first encounters when she was about 5 or 6, and she had a great spiritual encounter. Again, you can hear all about that in episode 1 with Henry the Business Fighter and Tracy Turner. Now I want to jump in, Tracy, and I want to dispel the myths about what a quote unquote reading actually is. So growing up in the church, we would have people that would prophesy and would tell you things about your life and all of that. And I believe in that. But if it was outside of the church, or not contained in the 4 walls, or not how your religion tells you that it should be, then it was dismissed. It was of the devil. So we wouldn't even look at any of that. Right. You came from the spirituality side. You didn't have a lot of religion to forget. So you're just walking in a true, natural, nonsensical, you're from Connecticut, you're from the Northeast, you're a total no BS type lady. That's what I love about you. And I investigated you heavily. I've spent years speaking with you and making sure that I'm not letting some wacko into my circle of friends.
Exactly.
You're very blunt with me, so I'm going to be very blunt with you.
Absolutely.
And I really approached it that way. But I can say, with a lot of experience behind me, a lot of things that you and I have talked about professionally and personally, that you are the real deal. Tracy Turner does not have to put on a show from anybody. She has had her life hanging in the balance many times, and has always chosen the light and the love of God. And that's the heart from which she speaks. So she's on Facebook, she's on Instagram. People are coming right and left to get what some people call readings.
Or a session.
Or a session. So I wanna break that down. When you speak with someone that's an intuitive, what other words? You've heard psychic, you've heard medium, you've heard all these things.
Some people use the word empath now. That's a big word.
Okay.
Empath is though you're feeling it though. You're just feeling it.
Empath, like empathy.
Yes.
But a lot of those words when I was growing up, I would run from, because I didn't understand them. Again, what I love about you is you are the real deal, and you come from spirituality, not from a textbook, not from a religion, nothing like that. And you've got such a pure heart. You're a pure white light. And I love that about you. So I want to dispel the myths, not about everybody. I mean, there's some people you should kick out of your house. There's some people you should never go talk to.
Exactly.
Believe
when
me,
people have the hand up there like this,
right.
in front of the building, Go run fast.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
gypsies.
and all of that. So I'm not giving a blanket approval for all this stuff, but I am saying with Tracy Turner, the lady that you'll learn a lot about in my first episode that I'm talking to now, is the real deal. And I want to dispel a rumor, a myth. I want to put people's mind at ease that if they call you for a session or book something with you, kind of what that's like.
Okay.
Because you and I have known each other for the past few years. We've gotten really, really deep into it. So the very first thing, you like to make a connection with people. You like to either talk to them in person, or sometimes you'll do things live virtually.
Yes.
Sometimes
Yes.
it'll just be a phone call.
Yes.
And when you call that, you always open up with a prayer.
Always. I always open with a prayer of, in God's white light, everything needs to be done, no matter what religion you are, where your spirituality is. You need to always take in your information with God's white light.
Because that's
And
the
then
purest
form
of
of,
truth.
because we are all of God's essence.
Yes.
So I want his white light inside me and the pink light of love. I want love to exude out of me when I give my words to my client. And I
Right.
always want to do it in a tasteful manner if I can. I'm also from San Diego, so we don't mince words in San Diego either. But
Yeah,
right. So you got little East Coast and you got a lot of West Coast here. So in my middle is where I say my prayer through God's white light and the pink light of love. I start my prayer with that and I end my prayer with that. The reason why I say a prayer, Henry, is I don't want to influence anything. I want it to come from there.
You're
From the
removing
all-knowing
yourself. You're just a
source.
conduit.
That's all I am, is a telephone.
Yep. No, and that, again, that's what I love about you. So during these sessions, you'll record them if the
Yes.
person wants, and then you'll send that to them as well.
In a download, in a video, or in just audio, whatever they want.
Yep. And in that session, and I don't want to go too deep into this, but I want to at least give people enough information that it removes the fear. And so in each session, just like you did when we were doing part one of our interview, like when you would see things kind of beyond the veil, it's almost like in the Bible when the two people went out to they were very afraid, they were being attacked, and the prayer was from the prophet. He said, God, open this person's eyes like you've opened my eyes. And the person went out and looked again, and he saw the armies of God. He saw the angels and chariots and warring angels and there to back you up. And that's totally accepted. It's totally accepted in the church. But sometimes if you say, I see other things, it's like, oh, that's weird. What kind of a weird thing is that? But I know, coming from your true heart of love, the white light of God, the pink light of love, I know you coming from that standpoint, that you do see these things and you do get glimpses of things. You never tell people what to do specifically, because you can't make anybody do anything. But
no, it's all free will.
You say, this is what I see, this is what it seems, this is what I'm feeling.
I'm seeing, I'm smelling.
Sometimes you can see that very clearly, like you have in some of the things I've been involved with. Yes,
very, very clearly. And sometimes I want to shake a person to say, but the answer's right here. I am telling you what to do. All you got to do is go to the water and drink, and it'll work this way. But not everybody wants to, and they've all got their own lessons, and we all get inside our own heads, and we can't see outside the scope. I never try to scare anybody. If I see a health problem, which is something that would be scary, sometimes I let them know, look, there's some issues with your heart. You need to do this, this, and this now. Right. To avoid the early death of having the heart attack, I want you to do what I'm telling you to do to avoid that incident. Right. So I get very, as a matter of fact, very pleased, take what I'm telling you to heart when I do a reading. And I'm very passionate when I give out my words, as you would attest to. Oh yeah, no, I know for sure. And you always do it in love. Like, even though you're blunt and to the point, you're no nonsensical, like you're always very
loving in your delivery too. And I love experiencing that. And it's hard for me to put into words that experience, because when you're in that moment and you're trusting somebody and you open your heart, you open your mind, most importantly, you open your spirit to
My
it.
soul.
It's really, it's an amazing feeling. Who's the guy's name who got really popular and he came on a lot of the talk shows
John
just,
Edwards.
I don't know. It's a younger guy, younger. I would call him a kid.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Like the psychic to the stars.
yeah, maybe something
But
like
I've
that.
done a
But
lot of celebrities. They're all the same. We're all the same people. Just to say that I'm a psychic to the stars doesn't mean jack.
I know. Yeah, yeah. And my true litmus test, Tracy, is when I actually have an experience with a person. Like I'm very hard for somebody to kind of let into my life, or I got to be very careful who even speaks to my life and then how I interpret it and all that. But I can say from dealing with you, above and beyond anybody else, that what you have said has absolutely been right on track. It's provided great guidance,
Thank you.
you know, there's a couple of things that I've kind of set on a shelf, and later on I would see how they would play into my life. And
And it
you know,
shows it plays out, doesn't it?
it really does. And it's so cool. But it takes two to tango. So it takes
Yes.
you opening your heart, your mind, your spirit to it, and it takes me doing the same. Like you said, I can only
Yes.
lead you to water, I can't make you drink. That's something that I've appreciated in you, is how you lead that to water, and then it's up to us to drink. So when you is it hard for you to turn this off, like if you're just in a grocery store, or do you pick up energy and feelings from other people? Like tell me about that. I'm personally interested.
Good question. You know that prayer that I say through the white light of God?
Uh-huh.
That's what turns it on. And when I'm done with the reading and I say through the white light of God, we ask no one who wishes to come forward, we ask that you leave at this time. That shuts it off. But when I'm in the grocery store, there's ever so often, I really want to go up to someone and say, by the way, don't do. But I've tried over the years to be respectful. When I was a little girl, I used to go to the parks and give free readings, because people at a park are open, and they're with their dog and their
It's
kids.
not
So
weird to them.
Yeah, I would just walk up to someone in a park and give them a reading.
Well, the word intuitive comes from intuition.
Yes.
And I know my mom, like there would be times where I played sports growing up, and I would get hurt or something. And she would say, Henry, at about 3 o'clock today, was there something wrong? Like something would hit her spirit, and she was very intuitive, and she knew. And like I never could come home from school. Like if I did something I knew I wasn't supposed to, like,
don't go home.
She would always pick up on it, and she would always know. And I think intuition is something to be celebrated, not just tolerated. Like I think that's something that more women have it than men. I think women are better at it for some reason, maybe because
we have a sensitive side.
Maybe they're more nurturing and all of that, but you, as being an intuitive, tapping into that intuition and at your heart level wanting to help people, I think that's why you can tap into that. I think that's why you can feel some of those feelings and see some of those things spiritually that will help the person. Like you said, you're there to help the person. You're there to uncover some things, so maybe they don't have to go off to the left or the right and step in these chug holes. Maybe you can save them a little for that. Maybe the ones that don't listen, maybe that's their journey, that they need to experience that.
Exactly.
And a lot of times, again, in my own case, I've seen things where it has helped me get past some things, and I'd have to climb over that mountain, but I can actually go this way and get there faster. So but I always wondered if you had those moments in a restaurant or a grocery store that you you see something on somebody and you just got to tell. I mean, I do, and I don't proclaim to do it professionally, but sometimes you just get those feelings from people.
And you just got to go tell them.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
you just got to say, excuse me, but
yeah.
I do that to the lady who cuts my hair a lot.
Yeah.
People that like at the dentist's office. because they
Right.
know what I do for a living. And so they kind of ask me to tell them.
Yeah, they
So I
want to
try not.
know, they kind of lean in, but they don't want to
Yeah, they
know,
do
but they want to
this.
know.
So what do you think?
Yeah.
What's your take on this? I'll tell you what, being a psychic or a medium or an intuitive, it's hard when you're single
Yeah,
because guys think that I have x-ray vision.
right.
And then I know if they've got like boxers or
They're
briefs on.
they're afraid to pull out their lines on you because
Yeah,
you'll
they
know.
can't. They can't.
I didn't think about that. I didn't think
No.
about that. That's
Then they're like, oh damn, you already know I'm gonna lie.
yeah. That's so funny.
It makes it very difficult to date.
Yeah. So when people come and say they book a session, are those usually 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40
They're
minutes, an
usually
hour? Like how long usually are they?
they're an hour or a half hour.
Half hour or an
Or an
hour?
hour,
And
yes.
what are your normal rates for
Okay,
doing?
I'm 95 for a half hour and I'm 185 for an hour.
Oh
And that
wow. Yeah,
comes,
I've seen rates of 200 and 300, 400
oh,
an hour. So
absolutely. And then I give them the download. Remember, when you're talking to me, just like when we're talking to you right now, there's only so much we're going to absorb. So I give them a download so they can go back and really listen to what I said and not what they forgot.
yeah, so a download, you record it and then you send them back that recording so they can
Yes.
go over it, listen to it, marinate in it, and then if they
Yeah.
need to call you back in a month or 2 or 3 or 6, they can.
Yes, and they can keep listening to that tape as well.
Yep, I love
And
that.
and I'm now going to be doing video. I did Zoom. No, it was, I forgot what we called it, Skype back in the day.
Right. Yeah, I've done Skype
I used
before.
to
Now
do
it's more
Skype.
Zoom. Yeah.
And I'm going to start doing that again because people want to see my face.
Yeah. No, I loved it. We were talking earlier. We haven't seen each other in a little bit, and it was
Right.
great to reconnect. We've talked on the
But
phone several times.
my messages are the same, whether it's by phone, in person, or on video.
Yeah.
It all
Yeah.
comes out the same.
Yeah, because spiritually there are no boundaries, there are no boxes you have to stay in. There are
No,
it doesn't matter if you're in Australia and I'm
no.
in China. We can communicate.
Yes. And it all flows the same. It's all of God's word.
Yeah. No, I love that, Tracy. Well, I wanted to kind of say those things. I don't want to say too much, but I wanted to at least give people my own personal experience and what you've done successfully so many times, and then how people can connect. So you're on Facebook again. You're on Instagram. It's
Yes, I'm going to be
Tracy.
doing live readings on the 11th, the 10th, the 11th, and the 12th on Instagram and on Facebook. And I have a private Facebook page called The Gifted Ones with Tracy Turner for people that are working on their spirituality and want
Okay,
a safe zone to go to.
so the 10th, 11th, and 12th, that's April.
Yes. And then on the 10th of April, I'm also doing a meditative journey to heaven and back.
Okay, good. Bring them back.
I'm bringing them back. Someone said
Yeah.
I should charge them $100 to get there and $500 to come back.
No, I love the way you operate. You always give so much more value than you charge for, and I'm lucky to include you as one of my friends. So
Thank you.
I appreciate you, Tracy. I wish you the best. Guys, connect with her. If you have any questions from a spiritual nature or just want to kind of a refresh, Tracy's your girl, and she'll do an amazing job. So Henry, the business fighter, until next time, you guys have a great day. And Tracy, again, it's been an honor.
Thank you so much, Henry. God bless you.
God bless you. Thanks.